Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to week 2 of Johnny Scrims. Today, you have your caster, your play-by-play caster, Atro, finally doing a cast in this league. It's been a long time. And with me, we have the great color caster, Gamer Talk. What you doing?
Yeah, hello there. I'm doing pretty well. First time casting here and wherever in English, actually. I've been casting a couple times in German, but it's considerably different in a different language, but I think it will be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And first match will also be for you right now, and for me on this league. It's going to be Yoinkers versus Kitsune, two teams which we've seen last week, and Yoinkers we've seen for quite a while in this tournament. But it's definitely going to be interesting. I think, I won't say it's going to be close, but I do expect some good fights.
Yeah, for sure. We're starting on Oasis as their first map pick, which is actually Yoinkers map pick.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty curious about the teams, what they're gonna run, what they're gonna play, if they're gonna go for like more exotic, exactly. If they're looking to play meta, or if they're going for more exotic plays, maybe we'll see.
Yeah, true. And this week, I should say that the predetermined 5th map will be Ilios, so we won't be seeing any Ilios in the first map here. But as you said, Oasis is going to be first up, and it seems like we are preparing the lobby. Be sure to drop your predictions down in the chat below. Tell us who you think is going to win. If we have some Yoinkers fanboys, if some Kitsune fanboys. It's going to be interesting to see. But I haven't been quite up to date. I do know almost all of the Yoinkers guys, and I'm pretty new to all the Kitsune. What about you, Gamer Talk? Are you familiar with these two teams?
I'm kind of familiar with Yoinkers, and I'm playing on Yoinker Tank, and the Yoinkers guys are coaching us sometimes, and they're doing a pretty good job. I mean, we're very happy with their coaching, so I know most of them. As you said, I'm not very familiar with Kitsune either, but it's gonna be an interesting match. We're gonna start on Oasis Gardens.
Well, on Oasis Gardens here, it seems that there's some new people that I don't really know, but we're gonna go through each and every one of them so far. But can you, first of all, talk us through the team comps right here before the first fight starts?
Sure. So on both sides we see the double bubble composition. No, only on one side actually. We're only seeing double bubble from the Yoinkers team run with Mercy to get that extra spam damage and to get more value out of that.
Already the first pick onto the main tank of Randomizer. Zuko with that Pharah pick is really doing some damage, and God Breakdown. Oof, already Kitsune off to a pretty bad start. So many picks for Johnny. Not for Johnny, for Yoinkers.
Kitsune is running a pretty standard dive composition right now. The Echo Trace has what you see most of the time as the DPS lineup. And for the Echo is actually one of the best barrel counters in the game. So we'll see if Godric can do anything about that Zuko Pharah, or if he just hits too many directs for him. He's getting a Mercy Pocket as well to kind of even that matchup out a little bit now. So I think the battle of the flying heroes is gonna be very interesting and very deciding.
Yeah, but already the second fight is starting to break out, and it seems like already Johnny Scrims was taken down by Randomizer, who's in the back line. Dragon Breath also pressuring the main tank, and Scream Raptor going down with him. It seems like already the fight is looking pretty bleak over for Yoinkers. One ult used by Zuko as well, pretty useless there, but Godric did get taken out. And it seems like the counterattack from Kitsune was pretty worth it.
GDB investing the primal though to stall a little bit, not very successful with it, and now he's kind of stuck within the Yoinkers team. And he has to make sure that he either gets out now or gets
already 2 picks over from the side of Yoinkers. Even if GDB goes down here by Randomizer, Randomizer's 1 HP, he's gonna have to wait for somebody to heal him, and he uses the primal to actually get back to full HP. It seems like they're investing ults pretty smartly, Kitsune, but they're going down so low. There's too much burst coming down from Zuko and Scream Raptor as well. DPS are doing so much worry for Yoinkers right now. Diva Bomb going out.
I don't want to predict anything, but this should be the flip for Yoinkers again. Kitsune is down too many members. They don't have anything left. Invested the Diva Bomb, got nothing with it. Even the pulse didn't find anything, so we used a lot of ultimates there in the fight and didn't really get anything out of it, apart from some percentage.
Well, 40% you could argue that it was pretty worth it if they do a fast counterattack here and they gotta kind of get the first picks, but again, so many ultimates on the side of Yoinkers that's looking pretty bleak right now.
It's not even many ultimates. Yoinkers has an EMP, and EMP is basically a free fight win if you don't mess it up. So
true, but already a second fight is going on over here. EMP goes out, as you said, and Randomizer goes down with like a good res from Brigitte onto the support. And it looks like Yoinkers is holding down their ground. Dragon Breath EMP hacked as well, excuse me, with Zuko getting taken out. And it looks like they're just investing some ults here, trying to hold a point, but GDB is going berserk on that Winston. He's getting so many picks, and also the grab goes out for him, Jokimar.
Randomizer needs to use the primer. Oh no, sorry, Godric, he needs to use the primer. But he gets taken out in the end, and now Kitsune has to make sure that they even get a touch on the point. Only the tanks are alive right now. Monkey will get a touch. But is that gonna be enough? They need to find some picks, they need to find some worry.
And already the picks are going out from Yoinkers, actually, taking both main heal and main tank. And it looks pretty harsh. It looks pretty hard for Kitsune here to come back out of this one. But it's not impossible. They have some ultimates coming up, like that Nano that can go on the Winston. Already so many picks though from the side of Yoinkers. 4 of them. Yeah, that's it. First point.
Too many ultimates from the Yoinkers side. You saw it in the second to last fight. It was like 1 ultimate on Kitsune's side against 5 from Yoinkers, and it's very hard to play into that if they play it correctly.
But not even that. Even when Yoinkers just like dry rushed it, they managed to get so many picks first that it was just an unfair advantage to them over Kitsune, who were kind of standing back, waiting for Randomizer to go in, and then nobody could follow up with him because they were held back.
We are on the second map now, University. We are seeing some swaps to the classic Rush comp on both sides. Ryan Diva, obviously. Diva very strong right now. And Lucio Beb. The difference is in the DPS time. Yoinkers going for a more spammy approach with just a Metro Jungle. Maybe the sim is just for the TP and they will swap it immediately, we'll see.
It seems like that isn't the case, and already the first point is being overtaken by Yoinkers, who are very aggressive on this. Randomizer almost getting taken out by that charge, but doesn't really manage to hit it. GDB. They're so dominant.
Kitsune needs to play around this Mei ward, but how do you want to get the Mei wall off if you can't even get through the choke? Like, this is the choke you want to wall off, not the choke you want to wall yourself off of.
That is true, and right now no picks have gone out so far yet, but a lot of ultimates are coming online. And first pick actually from Godric onto Scrim Raptor, which is huge for burst damage right here. Wall goes up and Immortality Field as well. Oh, so many ultimates are being pressed down. The windows. As Randomizer just gets bursted down by Zuko, who's doing so much work. We're doing a triple kill, a quadra kill right here. Onto Kitsune. He's doing a lot of damage with that beam. Oh.
Yeah, this is definitely a clean fight win for Yoinkers. They lost the Junkrat early, but they had the sim wall, and the sim wall basically won in the fight because it nullified the window from Kitsune. Now, Kitsune has to think about what can you really do. You're going up against a Shatter and a Diva Bomb, and you have nothing yourself. Okay, they're swapping actually. They're swapping to a double shield composition with a Pharah with Lucio Beb supports. I don't know, that doesn't seem very coordinated, because who's gonna heal the Pharah?
Oh, but a huge shatter coming in from GDB. Along with that High Noon and Bomb, it seems like the High Noon didn't do much, and Randomizer got taken out as well. Johnny Scrims did get traded out, but that doesn't mean anything as GDB is just rushing through Kitsune. Oh, this is gonna be a roll, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really looking like it. The Pharah's absolutely getting no healing. Like, you have a Beb and a Lucio, how do you expect to keep your Pharah alive if any damage comes in on her? And on the other side, we have Johnny Scrims on the Baptiste, who can easily take out a Pharah by himself. Also
the Diva on Jokimar, you have to remember that. But the sound barrier actually goes out from Singularity, and that's a traded one as well. Brigitte coming in with the Lucio barrier. Fire in the Hulk coming up from Scrim after getting the Immortality Fear from tracking. And it seems like again, Kitsune's tanks are just getting taken out, being by themselves. Singularity as well, there's just no hope for Kitsune to push right here without any picks.
Yeah, Godric is still alive on that Pharah, but can't even touch. This is a 100-0 point map 2 from Yoinkers. Or sub-map, to be fair.
Well, there we go. We have map 1 winners at least. Yoinkers kind of just completely rushed it and won. Let's see what Kitsune is gonna decide to change up. look at this high noon being really nicely blocked by GDB.
Yeah, I'm really curious about what Kitsune is thinking, right? Like, they had the idea of swapping to the double shield composition, but it didn't seem very coordinated. Like, you could see them, they were on a Pharah with the Lucio Bab as support combo. It looks like half their team wanted to swap and half their team wanted to stay. That's not how you go up against Yoinkers. Yoinkers looking very strong, also in a game against Master Pack last time, but also today on map 1.
That is true, but right now, the second map that we're going to be looking at is going to be an escort map, which I think, honestly, when you think escort, what do you really think, first of all?
I'm thinking spam, I'm thinking double shield opportunities, I'm also thinking maybe some diving maps. If you think about, for example, Junkertown, you can go on Junkertown with a double shield approach pretty well. At least for the defense. That's
also the case with the Route 66. That's also the case with, I guess, Havana, but not that much.
On Havana, you can actually spawn camp. I'm curious to see that, if the teams decide to go for that.
Yeah, but we're going to have to see what they're going to pick, because Kitsune here needs to get their heads back in the game and think, what are we going to do? We're going to need to pick a map that we're really good at, so that we can take over.
It's going to be the complete opposite. We're going on Gibraltar.
Oh. Gibraltar's a good Winston map, though, and GDB seems to be favoring the Winston so far. He's been playing very good on it.
So... Yeah, but it's not even Yoinker's pick. It's Kitsune's pick. You have to remember that. Kitsune is picking a map against a very good Winston. If that is, I don't know if that's exactly what you want to do.
Well, it's not necessarily what you want to do. Maybe they've trained on this map a lot, Kitsune, and they think we have a comp that really works on this, and we want to show it to Yoinkers. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see to how this is going to be playing out.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be very interesting. I'm suspecting they're both going for a double bubble or a dive approach. It makes the most sense. You have a lot of high grounds to play around on this map, especially on first point, but also on second. On third point, we might see some other approaches, like the brawl composition can work. But we have to see if the teams even get that far. I mean, maybe they get full hold it. I don't know.
That is true, but as we are going finally into the lobby, let's actually check up, after we've seen the first map, on some of the players here. Who would you think, from your perspective right here, is taking like kind of charge of both Yoinkers and Kitsune here? Because they seem to be pretty divided right now.
I'm thinking GDB has been looking very dominant on his monkey, but also on the Reinhardt. Like he forced a whole team to swap with his Reinhardt play, basically. You could also attribute that to the Sim as well. But also Zuko looking very good on his spam heroes, if he gets to play the Pharah, if he gets to play the Symmetra later on. On the other hand, for Kitsune, I think it's going to be a team effort. I think you need that coordination. For example, if you want to swap the composition, you need to do it together. Because else you end up with a Pharah that's getting no healing at all, because you're running a Lucio.
That is true, but it looks like both the teams here are forcing that Tracer, which I haven't been around in the meta for a long time, but I don't know if that's the smartest pick on this map especially, even though we have like both teams running a Winston here.
Tracer is pretty good, because you can engage with your Winston. The difference in the compositions right now is the Echo pick against the McCree. McCree obviously on the side of Yoinkers, being more of the defensive anti-dive hero, which can be very good, but it's less likely that they can be aggressive with that.
Already the fight is breaking out onto the top side of Gibraltar here. GDB and also both of the monkeys actually going in and trading a bit, with the Zarya actually from Yoinkers getting a pick onto Singularity, which is pretty huge right now as the Echo's going down as well by Scrimraptor. Even though the payload's been pushed, it seems like the fight is kind of being won a bit by Yoinkers here. They're pulling them back, and they even are helping them at spawn, even though Zuko lost that 1v1 trade, 1v1 against Reactor.
But they now need to be careful that they don't lose everybody to Reactor. Monkey nearly going down there as well. Luckily getting saved by Brigitte.
Indeed, and it seems like, again, it's just poke going on right now because they're trying to hold back the payload. Nobody's really focusing that. And Jokimar is already down. Zuko getting the trade onto Godric though. Rigida is 1 HP and she manages to get away for now, but Randomizer is going after her and she doesn't manage to. Randomizer 1 HP there. The Tracer Bomb goes out and he's still alive with 5 HP, not anymore. GDB gets his kill.
Yeah, Kitsune used the nano already in that fight. We didn't see that from Yoinkers yet, right? But still having the nano ready, that's giving him a huge advantage for next fight, because they can be very aggressive with that monkey.
With that monkey nano, yeah, but again, the electric cowboy is still a very good play to do it here for Yoinkers.
Yeah, of course, you need to be careful of the D.Va though. D.Va can basically deny your complete value if you're getting nano as a McCree.
That is
you might
true.
force some PM there early.
But it looks like Reactor is getting picked out early, and now the High Noon is going out, taking out Godric. Some pretty good ult usage there actually from Scrimraptor, because the fight was already over by the time Godraptor was taken out. And now they have to regroup Kitsune and maybe do some switches here, even though they're all coming back on their ultimates.
Yeah, they have a lot of ult soon. They're looking to 5 ultimates. They used both already, didn't find any value. But they're coming out from basically everything else. Need to find some value with that.
Interesting.
If they don't, I don't see them coming back if they don't find value with this.
Interesting usage out of the Primal from GDB, using it in spawn.
I think that looked very much like a factory now, honestly.
Perhaps, but it seems like Randomizer is taking after him, going after his supports with the Primal, then going back. Not really doing much, but the D.Va Bomb is huge, taking out 3 of them. That's big for Kitsune, you have to capitalize on this. There we go, GDB already getting the trade onto Reactor though. It seems like Yoinkers are playing this smart and falling back to regroup.
Yeah, Kitsune already used the nano on the monkey to secure the Godric. Didn't manage to do so actually. Now using the rally to fortify the position to make sure the Yoinkers can't sustain their
Oh, but the grab is already going out actually, and the nano Brigida, I didn't think I'd see this, takes out Singularity and Randomizer as well. This is big for Yoinkers right now. They can push this back with Godric taking out 2 people from Yoinkers' side. It seems like the High Noon isn't gonna do much from Scrimraptor, and the payload might be pushed. Oh, but Scrimraptor actually taking out D.Va. Might be able to take out Godric as well, and that he does, and there's only Tracer on point. And Yoinkers have managed to secure this, I don't believe it.
That tree on the high ground position is doing so much work. He got 2 picks out of that just by being on high ground and by being uncontested. I mean, what can you even do against a tree on the high ground? You can't just fly up there as Echo.
Oh, in 3 seconds left, somebody's gonna have to contest this. It seems like both the bull and the monkey is going in. Randomizer getting taken out. Oh, it's just a bloodbath. It's just a whole entire bloodbath coming in from Yoinkers. Yeah.
They're trying to touch, Kitsune is trying to touch, Reactor finding the port on Rigida, but it's not gonna be enough. And they're holding on first point.
Not even first point, huh? Kitsune, you have to step up your game if you wanna continue against Yoinkers.
They had a very hard time contesting that high ground. You saw the setup from Yoinkers, the McCree back on blue box with the breaker all the way. And how are you even gonna play against that? You have to take the high ground to be able to push the card through. But you can't if they set up in such a good way. It's very hard.
You can see the discipline and the hours of scrimmage time that Yoinkers have had, because when they were taken out by that incredible D.Va Bomb taken out from I believe it was Randomizer, no, Dragon Breath.
Dragon Breath was it?
Yes. From when Dragon Breath threw out that amazing D.Va Bomb, Kitsune didn't capitalize on it. They pushed the payload a bit, but Yoinkers managed to get back together with 3 people still left alive and kind of make it so in a way that they have at least 4 people to regroup in, go back in, and take the point.
Yeah, Kitsune also seems very loose with the ultimates. I mean, we saw GDB primaling in spawn, basically. That was one thing. But then after that 3-man post bomb, they even invested the nano onto Randomizer to kind of get that kill on the brick, which they didn't even manage to do so. So they basically wasted another ultimate. And that's the thing you've seen on the first map as well.
Interesting pick here, actually, from Scrimraptor. I can't wait to see his Widow plays right here from the back. They're playing a sim comp as well, Zuko.
On the other side, we do have Reactor on the Ash, and now Godric is on the Tracer. Maybe he can do a little bit better, find a little bit more value than his counterpart.
That is true, but already the first pick coming out from Scrimraptor. As I said, Reactor getting taken out, staying in the high ground. It seems like Kitsune are trying to play together on this, but they're just not doing a good job at it. And there we go, Randomizer is going in by himself, actually Godric falling in behind him. Nobody can really do much of the job here, and it seems like he's forced to push back. The payload's still being contested, actually, by Godric.
Reactor's now mirroring the Widow. He wants to take the tool, he wants to take out his counterpart Scrimraptor. And that's gonna be very interesting, because whoever wins that duel will have control over most of the high ground, because you have such long sidelines on this point.
True, but Reactor switching onto a Widow to counter Scrimraptor here means that we are only gonna have one big DPS staying on the payload. And because of that, it seems like a lot of pressure is going to be put on them. Zuko taking out Reactor in the back line. That is huge right now. The payload's almost close to being pushed all the way through for Yoinkers. It seems like Dragon Breath is 1 HP and isn't getting killed. Brigida getting the kill onto Randomizer. GDB also taking out tracking. It's looking pretty dark. It's looking pretty dark, but they can still come back from this Singularity going down as well.
They need to stay on the point, though. They can't let the card continue any further, but they can't manage to do so. They don't have the health. They're dead.
The second map goes over to Yoinkers. Is this gonna be the fastest match in Johnny Scrims?
Might be. I don't know how fast the earlier matches were, but it's looking very fast for now.
In worst case scenario, there's gonna be... In worst case scenario for Kitsune, there's only gonna be one more map to go through. See, there you go, the Dragon Breath play again that I was talking about. There's only gonna be one more map to go through if the Kitsune don't step up the game here. Honestly, in my opinion here, what Kitsune should do is change to easier to play DPS, do more burst, get a Reaper, get a Mei, maybe even a Torbjorn, to just be able to output some burst damage, break those barriers, and then go in. Because Yoinkers is playing very aggressively, as we've seen so far.
Yeah, they for sure need to figure out something, and that might relate to the map pick. So I think we're coming up on Hybrid now, if I'm informed in the right way, right?
Well, right now we are going to be coming up against a hybrid map, and it's going to be loser's pick. But when you hear hybrid map, I think, in my mind, I always think King's Row. So,
yeah, me too.
Scrims Row is going to be probably a map that we're going to probably see here. And it's also, for a fact, Yoinkers, I think, best map. So, it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to go for here. And we've been informed that we need to take a bit of a pause. We'll be back in 5 minutes, guys, so stick around. Okay, and it seems like we're back. Some technical difficulties have arrived, but no worries. We're gonna continue the game. And it seems like third map is going to be King's Row, yeah?
Yeah, King's Row obviously gonna be that brawly map. We're gonna see a lot of Kree and maybe a Mei, I would suggest. On the other hand, we do see on University, on Oasis, we also saw some spammy approaches, so that might translate to King's Row as well.
We'll see, but again, Yoinkers is kind of their best on here, so it's really gonna be harsh to see what's gonna go down. But, oh well, I guess we'll just have to see, yeah.
Yoinkers chose to attack first this time, so they might have some idea in mind on how to approach this whole thingy. Maybe we do see a cheese strat like the infamous Bastion TP on the statue.
Oh, we might see, but seeing as what's going down right here, it's going to appear that even though GDB and Jokamir are playing that brawl, and Zuko is apparently staying on a Bastion. Hopefully that's a troll pick. If not, I'm very sorry for Kitsune right here.
Attackers incoming.
He's swapping to Widow, don't worry.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
Well, Widow Hanzo, though, is a very spammy approach. Like, with Widow Hanzo, you want to have that long sidelines, you want to get that damage, and you want to get the picks. And Randaya isn't like that at all. Randaya is aggressive, you want to go in. You want to be in.
You want to be in there, that is right. But, oh, Yuzuko actually changing over to a Mei. We're gonna have to see what these teams are gonna decide to play. As we're gonna be going up against first choke, and it looks like Yoinkers are gonna play this defensively. Not Yoinkers, Kitsune are gonna have to play this defensively.
Yeah, they're playing on point, they're not even holding the statue, even though they do have the Mei. They're playing very passively, and Scrimraptor finding the first pick on the Baptiste.
That is big, but the Raptor actually getting the trade off on there. This is big as GDB just swinging on about. 3 picks coming out of Yoinkers. Oh my god, first point already is so big for Yoinkers.
Yeah, I told you. They chose to go for the Zaya over the Diva, and that gives you a lot more aggression. You have to play a lot more aggressive, and they do that beautifully.
Again, as I told you, this is kind of their second nature. This is their home. So Yoinkers are going to be very aggressive here. I recommend Kitsune to play something that can hold the corner really, really well.
Yoinkers already going very aggressive. GDB getting water and GDB out early, but Kitsune is unable to touch, so Yoinkers will catch the first point.
That is true, but let's see, because now they're going to hold that corner, and Johnny Scrims gets out. A big wall coming out of Godric. It looks like Kitsune are trying to be aggressive in their own sense, kind of methodical, taking out each person one by one. Let's see.
Yoinkers coming up on ultimates though, and my game is lagging.
Is it? Oh, big grab actually coming out here with the Hanzo Dragon. That is huge for Yoinkers right here. That's a team kill. Over with 2 ultimates done and dusted with in 2 seconds. Nobody's pushing the payload though.
Brigida now going back to pick it up. I mean, the payload also has to move. You can go to their spawn though, so it doesn't have to if the payload's back at your spawn.
That is true, but you can see, Yoinkers are just so aggressive with their plays because they know that they can do this. They know this is gonna be easy for them. Reactor actually coming in with that high noon. Is it gonna get anyone? Yes, it is. Scrimraptor getting taken out. The GDB actually having that nano over the window coming up as well from tracking. A lot of picks coming in from Yoinkers again. But GDB gets taken out even with a nano. And again, nobody's pushing the payload, even though the fight is clearly over.
Yeah, they probably should leave somebody behind, or at least have Brigida go back earlier to get the payload in. Because they need to cap the second point. And depending on the pace that Kitsune is going for, they might get a recontest, because the Ryan's barely gonna be back.
Yeah, but look at this. Kitsune can't even react to Yoinkers right here, as they've just pushed second point. And it's looking pretty bad. But a big blizzard coming out of here from Godric with a pretty decent, I'd say. Samber from Singularity, a Shatter going out of Randomize as well, with a good Immortality field coming out of tracking. A lot of picks coming in from Kitsune, but it's still a 4v6. It's actually a 4v3 now that Scrim Raptor is dead. And the spawn advantage, though, is going to be pretty harsh for them, and there's been a pause, there's been a disconnect coming out.
Yeah. And again, you saw Kitsune using a lot of ultimates. I would say more than needed. They used the Mei ult, which was great to get back into the fight. But they also used the sound barrier to engage. And Randomizer got frozen out of his shatter. So they used 3 ultimates for effectively a value of 1. So they need to be really careful, because now they only have the window left, going up against a Graph, a Shatter soon, and a Nano.
Yeah, but I think that Graph is going to be waited on for Scrim Raptor to get back his Hanzo ultimate, which was huge last time we saw the play of the game going on in front of our eyes. But with 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Kitsune are pressed for time here.
For sure. We need to see, though, how Yoinkers gonna approach the next push. They have a lot of tools to their availability. Which are they gonna choose?
Yeah, but Randomizer is kind of getting caught off from his team, and the window goes out from tracking. As the first trade actually going on from 2 DPS, their main DPS. Scrim Raptor is still farming that ultimate, and it seems like Randomizer finally learned how to space off, but no shield right here means that he can get pushed, and that he is. There you go, already. Actually, the Zarya being a bit more aggressive, and a decent grab getting 2 people with their Immortality field kind of blocking all the Hanzo damage. There we go, big shatter coming in from GDD, getting 2 kills before getting taken out himself in a trade from Reactor. Reactor gets taken out as well, and it seems like another one fight for Yoinkers here with a really good ultimate usage.
They used 3, to be fair, but they also still have 3 available. They went into this fight with 6 ultimates at their disposal, and Kitsune doesn't really have much against them.
Oh my god!
Early.
And the High Noon getting taken out immediately from Scrim Raptor. GDB with the double kill, and Zuko taking out the 1v1 in Godric. Ah, this is just a massacre.
There won't be much time left, and I don't know if they can even touch. Lucy trying to go for a touch.
Singularity.
Manages to do so, but not for long. And that's a push with 3:22 on the clock. They finish King's Row.
Score.
Oh my god. 3:22 on the clock, and we've been live for 36 minutes. This might be the last map.
It's looking very much like it. Kitsune, they have to think about something. They have to come up with something. Yoinkers are looking so solid in their play, in their team play, especially in their ultimate usage. Like, they're not over-ulting by that much how Kitsune is doing right now. And Kitsune need to do something about it, else it's gonna be GG's.
That is true, but it can always change. I believe in the reverse sweep. I believe. Come on, Kitsune. You can do this. Although that DC from Dragon Breath is a bit worrying. If they're playing with lag here, that's the last thing they need to be able to push you.
Yeah, I didn't see it if he had the Diva Bomb already ready when he DC'd, but if he had, that was very unlucky timing.
That is true. But both teams running Ryan Diva here.
Yeah, Diva currently being superior to Zarya in the sense of, like, you have way more peel for your Rhino with the defense matrix just being more up than a Zarya bubble is. On the other hand, you can't really play that aggressive. You can't just go in because you do less damage compared to a Zarya.
It seems like Reactor switching off last second the Widow. He could have taken a shot, but he decided not to.
Yeah, it's probably not worth at that level. They know if the Widow's coming, they're not gonna peek it, so it's hardly gonna get any value.
That is true, but the Rhines have started swinging, the walls have gone up. It's an all-out brawl, and Randomizer decides to win this one, even though there's a trade counter reactor that isn't much compared to a main tank. Oh, but Zuko having so much value here.
Yeah, Zuko saving the fight for Yoinkers. That could be really devastating. They lost GDB first, and if Zuko didn't get those picks, that would have probably been the first point, or at least a pick or two for Kitsune.
Yeah, but again, there's still 3 minutes left. They can do a lot here, and it seems like Yoinkers Diva is being pretty aggressive here, holding on for GDB, waiting for him. Reactor falling down to 1 HP, even before the fight started.
And again, trying to play that statue, trying to play around the Mei wall. And he's getting mauled himself and getting taken out.
So much damage, so much brawl going on. And it seems like always when this happens, the 50-50s just go in the favor of Yoinkers. With GDB just swinging about getting so many picks.
They did use the window though, which we have to take into account, because now they don't have it anymore. On the side of Kitsune, we're approaching 4, 5, 6 ultimates. There's soon gonna be an old festival.
Oh, but the huge charge onto randomizer. GDB just finished this fight without even beginning. Wow, the shadow to clean up, taking out Godbreak, and the bomb actually in spawn. What are they thinking?
We're gonna spawn with them. That way they're gonna take longer to come out again. It's just, those are just values. They didn't need the shatter, they didn't need the bomb. They just wanted to rub it in. Dude, we are at your spawn and you can't get out without dying.
Yeah, but can make the. It's gonna turn into ultimate watch. There's so many ultimates available right now, right?
Yeah, 5 for Kitsune, soon 6, and 3, soon 4 on the side of Yoinkers. And Yoinkers starting the festival with the High Noon getting cancelled.
And I don't think you can say anything about this roll. There's just all the ultimates going out of here from both sides. And Johnny Scrims and Scrimraptor just getting picks, headshots every day. There you go. There's just too much going on to the point where it's just all out chaos that there's not much really to say besides pretty colors are going out.
Pretty colors, people pressing Q and somebody dies.
Yes.
That's how we wanna play.
That is true.
With 5 ultimates though, they only use the High Noon actually in that fight, whereas Yoinkers used 2. So they do have a good opportunity here, if they can get a good blizzard in.
Oh, but the good May will actually coming up. The sound barrier as well coming in from Vegeta. Johnny Screams over there and those up as well. Godric with a pretty good blizzard, taking out, getting actually some of the enemy. Oh, but Randomizer messed up his charge because Singularity booped him away. And Zuko is just getting so much value. Nobody's focusing him, and he's really the star player here for Yoinkers right now. He saved so many situations with the quadra kill here. Oh, that's a 5-man.
Yeah, the Kree is just getting so much value out of his position. He's just free. But again, we saw Kitsune using ultimates, not getting value. The Blizzard barely got anything. The Mei got frozen, but Mei has Ice Block and can freeze herself. The Shatter only got Johnny Scrims, and he didn't even manage to kill him.
Yeah, but it seems like this is gonna be the last fight here, and the hammer down coming in from behind gets 2 people, actually 3, and the charge doesn't get anyone. Then GDB gets taken out. Poor placement there, but oh, the Diva actually making way up for it. Taking 2 people out, including Reactor, which is a pretty big DPS here. Godric trying to hold off with 5 seconds left. Can anybody touch? No, they cannot.
They can't. And that's map 3-0 for Yoinkers. That is GG's.
That was a massacre.
That's brutal, honestly, that's brutal.
That is brutal. Wow. Wow. And look at this. The combo. Scrimraptor and the Joker here.
Yeah, beautiful Graph Dragon. That's how you want this combination to be. That's a free fight win, honestly. Like, what are you gonna do against that? You can't do anything. If it's that great, that perfectly executed, timed, etc.
Oh, what do we even say? GG's, I guess, right?
GG's, I guess.
Job well done.
Job well done indeed. Wow. Well, thanks both teams for coming on. I'll say that much. And I'll also say that thank you guys for watching. 3-0 from Yoinkers, huh?
It's been I don't know what to say. That this has been a very one-sided match.
It's been one-sided, but also you can't say that nothing has happened from the side of Kitsune, right? There were some MVPs, there were some people that popped off, and there definitely were some people that weren't in their best moods today. But I can also see that Yoinkers was in the zone with this. They had fun, and they also just managed to completely overroll.
Exactly, and I'm very excited to see what else Yoinkers has to offer in this tournament, but I'm also excited to